team effort.
And speaking of Adriana, I have to bring up, it was a year ago today you found out she was pregnant.
It's true, exactly. It was 1 year ago, and my baby's here, Michaela, so it's awesome. It's a great power for us, and again, now we're going to continue working 4 times, guys, 4 times harder to make sure that we can accomplish something very impressive.
Elio, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Woohoo! Let's go, baby!
Robbie Floyd?
I've caught up with Chip Ganassi, and Chip, you gave it everything you had. You only had 30 seconds to get Dario out there. It was crazy.
It was great, Robbie. We were right where we wanted to be at the finish there. We wanted to be the last car out. We had our strategy right. We just didn't have enough there at the last run. I mean, all week long of practice here, one of us would gain an edge on the other, us against Penske, Penske against us, and they had a little edge on us, and as the week went on later, they had a little edge on us, and we didn't quite. We had to hustle a little bit to make it up, and we were close, but just not close enough. And but we certainly wasn't a we got some target cars on the front row, so that's what's important.
Scotty seemed to be fast throughout the week in practice. Dario, on the other hand, yesterday he was upset. It looks like he found something. You could build on that tomorrow.
Dario changed motors last night, and Scott didn't, and that might have been the difference. You never really know, but he had a crisp motor in there for today, and Scott didn't. So hard to say, what it was. I mean, we had changing conditions all week. My hat's off to the team. What a great job they did with the changing conditions all week. We had sort of one down day, but Target team did a great job, and I want to say hello to everybody in Target stores all across the country, and thanks for your help.
A little bit of confrontation there at the end when you didn't know if you were going to make it out there or not. Some words to be had out there. Was everything the way it was supposed to be?
Well, I was a little disappointed with Elio going slow on his warm-up lap there. That was kind of a, I thought that was a little dirty pull there, but that strategy that they have to play, and they were playing all the cards they had, and, that's some cards they had to play, I guess.
Well, you play some games well, push your cars back in line. The last guy out, unfortunately, Dario Franchitti could not better that third-place qualifying position.
And now the media clan around Elio Castroneves, the pole sitter for the 500. Elio joins A.J. Foyt and Rex Mays as a 4-time pole winner here at Indianapolis. Rick Mears is the all-time leader in number of poles, 6. Mario Andretti, Ari Luyendyk, Tom Sneva, and Johnny Rutherford won the pole 3 times for the Indianapolis 500. Well, we entered today with a brand new format of 2 different sessions, one from 11 to 4, the other from 4:30 to 6. We didn't know how it was going to work, and I would say that it looked good on paper, and it turned out to be very good.
No question about it. I mean, the drama for the top 24 was there. The surprise there for me, Paul Tracy not being in that group.
Yep.
That's a surprise. And then you look to that top 9, I think, obviously, Elio, fantastic job, but the job Rahal did.
Yes, Graham Rahal, fantastic also for Ed Carpenter, those who got in that top 9. But the only thing, I suppose, is that with Castroneves, it was like getting a hole-in-one, right off the tee. I mean, bam.
Yeah.
That was an amazing run right off the start in the hot conditions, and just he was untouchable.
Yeah.
Dario Franchitti has the outside front row spot. Here's Lindy.
And Dario, would you say you're pretty drained?
I am pretty drained right now. I thought the old format was nerve-wracking, but this one, those last 90 minutes, we just kept going back in and going quicker and quicker, and the car was getting more and more interesting to drive. We were dirt tracking it in one there, just backing the thing in, absolutely on the limit. And to do that once or twice a day is enough, but to do it, I think I must have done it 10 times today, including practice runs. So I'm worn out. I was good and lucky in the fact I had a good cheerleader. Chip was in there giving me the pep talk every time and getting me wound up for it, so that was good. But the Team Target cars were missing a little bit in qualifying trim. But you know what? It was great. This is the first time I've been here and seen turn 1 full for qualifying day. Great crowd, cool, and it's great to see that momentum in the IZOD IndyCar series. And as I say, I think we can win the race from third.
You'd been kind of struggling all month. You said you just couldn't find the speed. Where'd you find it today?
We sat and had a bit of we had a fairly lengthy meeting last night, and Chris and I and the whole team really just went on our experience from years past, and well, let's think of something. Let's change it. We changed everything, and the speed was there today. So as I say, I think Scott and I, both Team Target cars, have got a legitimate shot at winning this race.
All right, thank you, Dario.
Thank you.
The celebration continues. Helio Castroneves on the pole and wins $175,000 and gains 15 points toward the championship at the IZOD IndyCar Series for 2010. Helio Castroneves being interviewed on the public address here at Indianapolis. He is the pole sitter for the 2010 Indianapolis 500. We qualified 24 cars today. The top 9 went into the shootout, and this is how they came out. Helio Castroneves will start on the pole. His teammate Will Power alongside, and Dario Franchitti outside front row. Second row, Ryan Briscoe, Alex Tagliani, and Scott Dixon. And then back in the third row will be Graham Rahal, Ed Carpenter, and Hideki Muto. Down to Jack Arute.
You know, guys, we talk about some of the surprises today. You alluded to the 15 car and, of course, Paul Tracy. Woulda, coulda, shoulda if the car hadn't popped out of gear. But when we watched Helio Castroneves go out there and some of these other drivers over and over and over again, let's go back and remember TK. Certainly, Tony Kanaan was considered one of the favorites to make it at least into P1 through 9 and get to the final. But what happens during qualifications, everything goes awry and things start to go on loose. And look at what happens to Helio. Woulda, coulda, shoulda comes, oh no. And Helio Castroneves is on the pole, and his Brazilian friend, Tony Kanaan, has to wait until tomorrow and try to fill the field in rows 9, 10, and 11. That's how quickly things can change. And for Helio, it's a big day. But for TK, it's a very dark day. Now, for Danica Patrick, his teammate, it was also a very, very confounding day. They have not been very fast. They've been chasing things all month long. She goes out and attempts to qualify, and this is her worst qualifying effort in her career at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is a team that has been confounded by the GoDaddy.com race car. And after her attempt, she was very, very, very disappointed.
Danica, you had told me yesterday you weren't really too comfortable with the stability. How were you feeling out there today?
This is the worst car I've ever had. I couldn't even be flat. The GoDaddy car does not deserve to be this far down. A lot of us are struggling. Cars aren't good. They're really bad.
What do you think the problem is?
I'm not an engineer, so I don't really know. I mean, all I know is that there's no stability or grip, and it's just scary, really scary.
So what are your plans now? What do you do now?
Honestly, the only thing I can imagine doing is just adding downforce and going out again, but would I actually go any quicker? I don't know. On the other hand, somehow I wish it would just be over with now. It's awful. It's awful.
Describe the feeling of being out there going that fast and you are straight up not feeling safe and comfortable.
I think I'm still shaking. It's scary.
Okay, thanks, Danica.
So Danica does make it into the top 24. She'll start the worst in her career in the middle of row 8. That means there are still 9 more spots up for grabs tomorrow. And guys, we've got plenty of cars that are going to go after it. Bump day traditionally has been filled with drama. These guys that are yet to qualify, including a driver that we have not seen in his ride yet, that, of course, Bruno Junqueira, teammate to Alex Tagliani. They're going to hit the racetrack for the first time. Although Junqueira shook down some cars earlier in the week, it should be an exciting Sunday afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the top 10 are, the top 9 rather, are locked in, but the 10 through 24 starters are not. And here is a list of those who have not yet made the race and who will be trying to fill the 33-car field and possibly bump their way into this year's starting field. Danica was almost in tears there. You could tell she has never started outside the top 10 here at Indianapolis. She will this year, and it was obvious that she was almost in tears.
Yeah, but we saw that, Marco was frustrated. TK, we just saw from Jack what happened to him, and he was solid all week. So For her right now, though, I think the key for Danica, she is in that top 24. She's in the 23rd spot. Yeah, that's her worst starting spot, but she's in the field. So tonight she can go to bed and say, you know what, I'm going to come back tomorrow and work on a good race car.
And mentally, that is a big shift.
Yeah.
If you had to do this again tomorrow, as that list that we just saw, that's a different dynamic. I think it was Thomas Scheckter said there is such a difference between going to sleep tonight knowing that you're in and going